Restored Republic via GCR update as of December 30, 2017. Compiled by Judy Byington. Transcript and links on iqdcalls.com. Note from Judy. It is my opinion that the CIA's black operations, including their funding of ISIS and mind control experiments that have raped, tortured and murdered children since the beginnings of the agency at the end of World War II, funneled U.S. taxpayer dollars through the Bank for International Settlements, B1S, in Basel, Switzerland. The BIS was also known to run 60 central banks that were responsible for 95% of the world's GDP, making it the sole progenitor of the world's fiat money supply. One central bank was the U.S. Federal Reserve Bank, which controlled the U.S. taxpayer monies. Funds allocated by the Obama administration for the Syrian rebels, i.e., ISIS, were directly wired to the Federal Reserve from the BIS. Blackmailing those in Congress to vote for such heinous acts was accomplished through an international drug gun running and child kidnapping exploitation ring, also funded by our U.S. taxpayer dollars, along with monies from Saudi Arabian princes, 23 of whom were arrested last November. Obama appeared to promote such corruption via the U.S. Congress so that in the event of an ISIS-spawned biological pandemic affecting hundreds of millions of people, the U.S. would take blame for what the CIA in Switzerland was ultimately responsible. Link on iqdcalls.com. Since the beginning of the U.S. monetary system in the early 1800s, these hard-earned U.S. taxpayer dollars turned blood money has been paid through the Vatican and British Crown banks, both of which made big bucks off the deal. The British Crown and Vatican appeared to not only be connected to, but ran an international child kidnapping and exploitation ring. Former Pope Benedict Joseph Ratzinger has been under investigation, and Queen Elizabeth convicted by the International Common Law Court of Justice in Brussels for the 1964 disappearance of 10 Canadian native children from the Kamloops residential school in British Columbia. The EUX, which has spent years prosecuting cases of over 50,000 missing Canadian native children, and 40 mass grave sites on residential school grounds across Canada, stated in a bulletin that in the last month, the 7 ICLJ judges have examined numerous eyewitnesses and Vatican archival documentation that clearly linked the Black Pope Pacan, Pope Francis, former Pope Ratzinger and Archbishop of Canterbury Justin Welby to the ritual rape and killing of children since 2010. Black Pope Pacan resigns from Vatican after child abuse charge. Hopefully events of the past few months and through this weekend would begin to bring an end to some of the corruption. A. Intel update, tank, breaking, GCR/RV speak Intel update. 1. UST and banking sources all stated the RV would be finished before Christmas 2017, though checks and other materials at exchange centers were already predated for 2018. 2. HSBC and Wells Fargo have been calling clients in to do exchanges December 29. 3. AIIB has stated that the release for Tier 4 will be December 29. 4. Banks have notified their clients holding exotic currencies that they will be exchanged within the next 24 hours. 5. At 7:30 p.m. EST December 29, the military Pentagon ordered the U.S. Treasury and Wells Fargo to start exchanges and release the numbers. B. December 29, 2017, 5:16 p.m. EST, tank, ZIM is live, GCR/RV speak Intel update, tank, December 29, 17 the ZIM went live as of 4 p.m. Estate Friday December 29. C. December 29, 2017, 3:22 p.m. EST Intel update, tank, 800 numbers come out today, GCR/RV speak Intel update, tank. 1. Allegedly at 4 p.m. Estate December 29 the ZIM goes live. 2. The 800 numbers come out December 29. 3. Our bank appointments begin January 1, 2018. D. RV Intel Alert, Operation Disclosure GCR/RV Intel Alert. 1. The cabal continue to abandon ship with their lifeboats. Only those willing to aid the alliance are rescued, the rest perish. 2. The mass indictment event is happening behind the scenes at this very moment. 3. Exchanges via invitation are being set up in Zurich by HSBC and in Reno by Wells Fargo. 4. HSBC and Wells Fargo are working their way through Tier 4 currency holders by inviting them to exchange early at lower rates. 5. Wells Fargo agreed to be bought out by HSBC. 6. Tier 4 currency holders who exchange via 800 numbers appointment will be given much higher rates. 7. Pentagon sources have reported the 800 #S have been released. They would not elaborate further as to whom were given the numbers. Possible alliance military deception? 8. The RV, with the release of the 800 numbers to Tier 4, begins once victory is officially declared. 9. Watch for posts from government insiders. December 29, 2017 TNT call Rayren 98, TNT Showtime call with Rayren 98 Cliff Notes by Sunny, replay on iqdcalls.com. 1. Expectation was that on January 2nd you should see it on Forex. 2. Have heard of possible rate caps to keep the dinar from running crazy so to speak. 3. Currencies. Dinar, $3 plus. Dong, $0.47. Zim, $0.12 to $0.15. Afghani, $2.30 plus. Rial, $3.20 to $3.22. 4. Don't hold me to it, but the cap to the dinar could be in the $8 range. F. Zap update, funds will make it out today. Zap update, the Office of Poofness. 1. I just got a call that our funds will make it out today December 29th and into the system and arrive after the new year. 2. The RV will be going full speed next year. 3. Another friend of a friend received a payment. This is the third real confirmation I have had. 4. A very interesting piece of paper came to my attention. Link on iqdcalls.com. G. Special Intel Update, Tank, put on notice, GCR/RV Special Intel Update. 1. I was given permission to share this excluding key names, Military Control Report. 2. 3 days ago and the other Joint Chiefs of Staff ordered that the new 800 numbers be issued and put under complete control of the Pentagon. 3. They wanted the new order of things to be ready and in place by midnight last night December 28 or there would be hell to pay. 4. When they said go and were told that somebody dropped the ball, they all decided that it was time to hand massage the whole release, which they are now doing. 5. It goes down the line and when it hits any snag they want the names of the parties who are causing the delay, whether it's in the White House or anywhere else. 6. The U.S. Treasury was just notified to expect a security detail with some important documentation in hand. 7. Tank. The names excluded are definitely people I know can get things done. I generally trust them. H. Intel Update, Tank, Quick Report, GCR/RV Speak Intel Update. 1. The 800 numbers has been released from the Pentagon according to 9 different sources. 2. At this time we have no idea who has it. 3. Multiple confirmations of people going to Reno to exchange via invite. 4. Certain SKRs were given black cards and told they could start spending after 3 a.m. EST December 29. I. Intel Update, Tank, Light It Up, GCR/RV Speak Intel Update. 1. They issued a new 800 numbers and it's in the hands of the Pentagon to release. 2. The UST gave the go-ahead to release the numbers 2 days ago. 3. We heard the USN went live digitally last night December 28, finally connected in the system and was gold-backed. 4. They said notices and exchanges would begin at Wells Fargo after 10 a.m. EST December 29. J. Intel Report, Yosef, Massacre, GCR/RV has Intel Report. 1. New Year's Day is recorded on the Julian calendar comes this Monday at midnight. Most to all nations start the new fiscal year at this time. It would then make sense to begin any new gold-backed financial system also at this time. All redemptions would then fall in 2018, in accordance with the recently passed tax reforms, aka GCR. 2. Private redemptions could begin as early as Sunday midnight December 31st because both Sunday and Monday are federal holidays. 3. Thus no new accounts would technically be active or functional until Tuesday, January 2, 2018, just in time for the public release of new Forex rates. 4. Technically, everyone would go together, private and public, even though the privates would get a slight processing head start due to pent-up volume. K. ZAP report and warning in signing NDAs, ZAP's midweek report. 1. December 27, I received a note from a dear one who I know well and was told that a good friend had just received $200 million from a paymaster on a currency deal. 2. I do not know if it was ZIM or dinar, but this was the second confirmation that I have received within a week. 3. All other intel sources say similar things, so I have 100% confidence that payouts have started. 4. I received permission to publish this from Judge Anna Von Reitz in respect to NDAs on the currency. A. NDAs should not be signed for a currency exchange. Currency exchanges that are legitimate are perfectly legal, and if they are gold or silver-based currencies, lawful as well. Z. By signing an NDA, they have captured your unwitting signature on a watermarked or otherwise trademarked or enclosed legal document, just as they do with house mortgages. C. This gives them the power to exercise your signature as if it belonged to them, and they use it just like a rubber stamp to create assets for themselves and debts for you. It's a form of counterfeiting, but if you allow them to do it, they will. D. My advice, serve them with a notice of liability and copyright notice. Inform them that you own the copyright to your given name in all its styles, orders, punctuation, and forms, and they are foreclosed from using your signature on an NDA or any other paperwork for any use or purpose not fully disclosed, including the issuance of any orders or securities or receipts. E. What I see a lot of is cheating by lawyers operating as paymasters. They are the only ones getting paid. They take the money into trust accounts and then block the funds and trade on them, benefiting themselves while the actual owners of the assets wait and wait some more. F. They roll these assets every 45 days, so there is always some big stir every 45 days and nothing ever comes of it. Once in a while somebody gets fat enough to drop off the vine or gets forced to pay off by a strong arm, and then a few people actually get paid, only a small pittance compared to what the lawyer already made off their money. G. Most paymasters are intrinsically dishonest and you have to beat them with sticks. Once they get scared enough, they pay. Not until. 5. Jedi Trump and his efforts were all culminating in the releases. 6. My take on the RV release schedule would be the second week in January for things to really come alive. The first week some of the initial payments would be done, but in the second week the dam would burst and there would be no going back. 7. We were told to be ready in the first part of January for all things to begin for all of us. I just do not know the timing yet. L. Zim bond trading, Zimbabwe, Christmas cheer for bond note. 1. December 28, traders at the usual points in Harare, Zimbabwe were paying between $1.10 and $1.15 of the local unit for every US $1, while demanding between $1.15 and $1.20 bond for every US $1. 2. The transfer rate was hovering between 55 and 70%. 3. The continued firming of the bond note towards the initial $1 bond for every US $1 rate, under which the former was introduced by the RBZ as an export incentive, was set to restore savings value, as well as salaries. M. Treasonous acts filed against Bush's, Obama, Clinton, Soros, plus 17 others carry the death penalty. Criminal action filed for Northern District of Nevada. Note, the below information was sent anonymously, as is often the case with matters serious as this, with a request to publish for the American people. 1. A memorandum and order dated December 22, 2017 for formal prosecution for the Black Op attack of September 11, 2001 before the Honorable Jim Hardesty, Federal District Court, Northern District of Nevada. 2. The wider context this had with regard to Uranium One was also explored. 3. Named in the criminal action were George W. Bush, George H.W. Bush, Barack Obama, Hillary Rodham Clinton, George Soros, Condoleezza Rice, John Kerry, John McCain, Kevin Spacey, David Rockefeller, Richard Cheney, John Kerry, John Brennan, John Ashcroft, Robert Mueller, James Baker, Edgar Bronfman Sr., Paul Wolfowitz, Richard Pearl, Peter Monk, Brandar bin Sultan, Brent Snowcroft. Cheney, Brennan et al. With prejudice. 4. The alarming allegations in relation to the purported Black Op attacks of September 11, 2001, 9/11, are enough to warrant yet another superseding indictment concerning only those events. 5. In the wider context of this issue, each of the accused parties including Richard Cheney and Brent Snowcroft will face the death penalty. 6. Others who have already passed on, are likewise named for military authorities to recognize every part they played in this modern atrocity. 7. Accordingly, offenses will be directly against Richard Cheney, George W. Bush and John Brennan in their public and private capacities rather than only public for all venues. Latin for commerce. 8. Many of this nation have suffered tremendous emotional and physical scars from the loss of life of friends and loved ones due to the treasonous actions of the named traitors. 9. Many who committed the treasonous actions were entrusted to represent the American people in government offices, while others were considered as the privileged elites. 10. The American people needed closure and healing of the horrendous wounds, and thus deserved to know who was involved, their roles and the punishment to be carried out on each one for their acts of treason against this nation and its people. N. Cal upholds right for pedophiles to marry 10-year-olds. Native American News. California upholds right for pedophiles to marry 10-year-old kids. O. Trump's EO targets deep state and opens door to full disclosure. Something very profound happened in the U.S. on December 21 with the passage of President Donald Trump's executive order blocking the property of persons involved in serious human rights abuse or corruption. The order declared a state of national emergency concerning human rights and corruption, and named specific individuals and organizations that would have their bank accounts and assets frozen. P. Hugh Ma's cousin jailed for deleting Hillary's emails. Video link on iqdcalls.com. This guy has had above top secret IT clearance. Hugh Ma's cousin jailed for deleting Hillary's emails. Hugh Ma's mother is editor for Jihadist News. Video link on iqdcalls.com. Q. Deep state takedown in progress. Trump to begin arrests of top officials. When Donald Trump gets hit, he always hits back even harder. So when the deep state decided to conduct a legal witch hunt against President Trump and his family, they should have expected that Trump would return the favor. R. Sean McLaughlin CBS 5 on Twitter at A's National Guard 850th Military Police Battalion deploying tomorrow. Arizona National Guard 850th Military Police Battalion are deploying tomorrow for 9 months at #GTMO, on the Friday between Christmas and New Year's. Something is happening. Guantanamo Bay Flight Records. Guantanamo Bay Flight Records from 7:26 a.m. December 18, 17 through 9:33 a.m. December 28, 17 via at FlightAware. T. Philadelphia CPA caught running pedophile ring. Source, Echo News Media. Philadelphia Child Protection Agency caught running pedophile ring. The Camden County Prosecutor's Office in New Jersey has charged 55-year-old Charles Borelli, a senior employee of the Philadelphia Department of Human Services, with third-degree possession of child pornography. U. Chronological list of CEOs resigning from September-December 2017. Video on iqdcalls.com. V. Hennigan, Tom Hennigan, Stu Webb Intel Briefing. Video on iqdcalls.com. W. Pedogate. Child sex abuse victim tells about abuses from Hempstead Christ Church. Pete Saget connected to the Hempstead Christ Church cover-up sex abuse. Child victim tells about the abuses. Video on iqdcalls.com. X. New Clinton emails reveals additional mishandling of classified information. September 14, 2017. Judicial Watch. 1. New Clinton emails reveal additional mishandling of classified information. 2. Documents also show more instances of pay-to-play with Clinton Foundation donors. 3. Abedin's controversial mother advised Clinton speechwriter to exclude references to democracy/elections/freedom and empowerment of women for Clinton's speech in Saudi Arabia. 4. Judicial Watch today released 1,617 new pages of documents from the U.S. Department of State revealing numerous additional examples. End report. Transcript and links on iqdcalls.com.